What's up, guys? Welcome back, and I gotta say, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping my voice slower, keeping things under wraps, because the Kansas City Chiefs just had one of the best drafts in my entire life. They just snagged Felix Anudike-Uzomah, the pass rusher from Kansas State, the pass rusher from Lee Summit High School, stayed in Kansas his entire career. He now plays for the Kansas City Chiefs with the 31st overall pick at the very end of the night at a draft hosted in Kansas City. They select the Kansas City kid, a Kansas City local, to lead the Chiefs. I am over the moon excited, and I'm going to try to do my best just to keep it chill, keep it relaxed, but it's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to happen. Felix is the perfect pick for the Chiefs. Let's start face value here. You start off by offloading Frank Clark. I mean, he's been good in the playoffs. He's been one of my favorite Chiefs. However, he's kind of been inefficient at times of the season, injury issues as well as off-the-field issues at times, and we're looking for pass rushers. You know, we end up trading for Charles Omenihu from the 49ers, and yeah, that's a good player. He's a role guy. But how about a great pass rusher to offset George Karlaftis, our first-round pick from last year? Obviously, Trent McDuffie was also a first-round draft pick. But either way, Karlaftis on one side, and we need another pass rusher to fill that gap. How about the Big 12 Player of the Year? Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I am so excited. And let me just say, if you could picture a game, a Sunday night football game in Kansas City, the Chiefs and the Broncos, the Chiefs and anybody, the Chiefs and the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, the Chiefs up 3, need a stop. Got to get off the field. And I know Chris Jones has been that guy. Think about Felix getting to the quarterback, sacking Joe Burrow, standing up and doing his Felix dance. Doing the Felix dance. All of Arrowhead standing up and doing the same dance. How about that late night, crazy game, unbelievable energy? That dance is taking off everywhere for the Chiefs. I know it will. The same way it did for K-State. The Chiefs have the perfect player with Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I can't believe it. King Felix, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12, is a Kansas City Chief. Chris Jones tweeted out right after the pick, basically the flexing emojis, the kind of breathing out the nose emojis, the hype emojis, that Felix is joining that D-line. You have Chris Jones in the middle, who will get double-teamed by everybody. A budding pass rusher in George Karlaftis, one-on-one matchups. Felix Anudike-Uzomah, who hasn't seen a one-on-one matchup since sophomore year of college. The guy is unbelievable. Immediate production from Kansas State. Immediate production for the Chiefs. Think about that. If the draft didn't go the way it did, the Chiefs don't end up with Felix. Think about all the receivers. We didn't have a receiver off the board until the 20th-ish pick, the 21st pick. The kid from Ohio State goes to the Seahawks, and then 3 or 4 receivers go boom, boom, boom right after that. The Chiefs are basically staring down the option of, okay, we're looking at 4 different pass rushers here, maybe reach for a receiver at this point. You never know what's going to happen. The end of the first round, let's see. Who is sitting there? You've got a couple of guys that have been mocked to the Chiefs all year. The kid from Clemson, another kid from Clemson, and then you have Felix Anudike-Uzomah, who's projected as a late first round, early second round pick. How about driving 19 miles to the draft celebration? The guy is 30 minutes away from his hometown, where he's going to play. His family is close by. I am so unbelievably excited, over the moon excited to see what happens with Felix. The future is so bright. I'll say something that I think all of us are thinking here. The fact that Felix, the Big 12 Player of the Year, got drafted after Will McDonald, after Tyree Wilson, maybe it's me, and I don't mean to sound like a jerk. I'm not trying to take any shots. I hadn't heard of Tyree Wilson until the season was over. And then people are looking at him as the 5th overall pick, the 6th overall pick. I hadn't heard of this guy. He's now a Raider, which is kind of funny. We're going to get him, in the same division as the Chiefs. We're going to get him the same way we had Texas Tech and K-State. That'll be the Chiefs and the Raiders. Think about that. If you're the Big 12 quintessential fan, this is a beautiful night for you. 6 players drafted in the first round. Felix Anudike-Uzomah, the pick of the night. King Felix. I know I keep hammering it home, and I'm so excited. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to die on this hill forever. Felix has the opportunity to jump in and not just be a contributing member. Similar to George Karlaftis, Karlaftis is wearing number 56 now. The same number as Derek Johnson, who I know was a linebacker, he's not a pass rusher guy, but wearing a legendary Chief number. Number 91, I believe, is open for Kansas City. I could be wrong. I did the same thing with the Trent McDuffie conversation last week with the 22-21 deuce thing. 91, a.k.a. Tom Bahali, a Chiefs Hall of Famer, his number, Felix can jump in and wear that number. Think about the great things happening in Kansas City. This has been the perfect start to the draft, and it wouldn't have happened if any other order happened. There were so many guys on the board that said, you know what? Let's look for Zay Flowers. Let's look for Quentin Johnson. Let's look for guys like that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Felix isn't going to the Chiefs. How about the end? The end goal. Felix, number 91, in red and gold. Not just purple and white. We're upgrading from this and heading to the Chiefs. Think about that. Think about everyone who's been a Big 12 hater, a Kansas State hater. Think about everyone that has to watch this guy go on and compete for Super Bowls every single year in his hometown where he was drafted. The story writes itself. It doesn't get much better than that. The Big 12's best player on the defensive side of the ball picked with the 31st pick. I mean, that's too late for Felix. And that was even considered a reach. I think people look at that and say, you know what? I mean, Felix was there in the second round. Why don't we wait? No way. We had the 63rd pick. We're not getting Felix with that. He's going to the next 10 picks no matter what. And the same thing I think with Julius Brent. Same thing with a couple of guys on K-State's roster. Obviously, I don't think Deuce Vaughn will go till mid-day 2, day 3. We'll see what happens. I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to be a K-State fan, happy to be a Chiefs fan, and I'm happy to see the future ahead. I hope you guys are as well. The future is brighter than ever for the Chiefs. Obviously, we're a Super Bowl team. The window's wide open. I want to tell you a little bit of a personal experience with my situation. So both my brothers, I have 2 brothers and a sister. My sister and I both went to K-State. We were both diehard K-State people. My 2 brothers went to Purdue. They both went up to Purdue for engineering stuff, and it's cool. It's kind of like the K-State of Indiana, if you haven't been there. In that situation, the Chiefs now have 1 pass rusher on one side in George Karlaftis from Purdue. We now have a pass rusher from Kansas State, Felix Anudike-Uzomah. We have George Karlaftis from Purdue, K-State's Felix Anudike-Uzomah. This is the perfect situation, not just for me, but for all of Chiefs Kingdom. Things are going to be great. Business is going to be booming, and I can't wait to see what happens. Felix, congratulations. This is going to be massive for you. This is already huge. We're so excited to see where you're at. And I know that my Twitter feed, my social media feed is going to be dominated by Felix stuff in the next couple of days. Let's see what happens. There's still a possibility of Deuce Vaughn going to the Chiefs. The 2 running backs that the Chiefs were high on coming into the draft, Jahmyr Gibbs, who was drafted in the top 15, 2 running backs in the top 15, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, top 15 pick. The other one, Deuce Vaughn. Let's see. Let's see what happens. We have an explosive need for a player like Deuce Vaughn, whether it be kickoffs or just a third down back kind of guy. Deuce could come in and fill that role and make the Chiefs Kansas State University. I'm excited to see what happens. I know you guys are as well. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And I want to say also, thanks for watching today's video. This has been about King Felix and the Kansas City Chiefs, the NFL draft, and all the good things ahead. This has been an awesome video that I'm so excited to make. And my heart is still pounding at the moment, if you can't tell. Thanks for watching and all the support on the videos. It's been awesome to see. We're already past 250 subscribers, which is miles beyond where I thought we'd be at this point. So I appreciate all the support. If you're interested in seeing more K-State talk, go ahead and consider subscribing and sharing the channel with any friends you might have that might enjoy the conversation. With that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's see what happens. Go Cats.